Hi, since you are unable to attend the class today, I am going to discuss to you something that is really important, especially in your case who would love to improve your speaking skills. I am going to discuss to you some ways to stop saying or using filler words in your speeches. For most professionals, the use of words like um, and so can easily get out of control if we are not conscious of them. These innocent seeming filler words aren't an issue when they are said once or twice in a meeting, but if they're being used repetitively, that really kills a person's credibility. Perhaps you're unprepared in a meeting and struggling to answer a tough question, or maybe you're overtired and stammering to focus on your central point or get out the corresponding words. Whatever the case, when we hear consistent verbal stumbling, we assume the speaker is unsure of herself. The good news is that you can steer your speech habits away from and to more sure-footed language. You can try experimenting with the following strategies to reduce these words in your speech. Now let's talk about the ways. First, you have to hear yourself using filler words. Using filler words. How? If you listen to a recording of a conference call where you regularly say you will have a natural urge to cringe. This is an important first step in ridding yourself of filler words. An added bonus, once you hear yourself filling silence with you will begin noticing when other people do it too. So what you have to do is to simply film yourself. You can have a video camera to record a presentation or listen to an audio recording of a recent call. That's another way for you to improve it. Record a call. Remember, you can change what you don't acknowledge. The next thing that you have to do is to chunk your information. Now, what do you mean by chunk? Chunk means to divide into small pieces or to chunks. One thing is for sure, we're most likely to engage in waterfall speech or rumbling when we lack a plan for organizing our ideas. Some trainers recommend chunking your sentences ahead of speaking them and then leaving a pause. For example, when you chunk, you get into a rhythm. And this rhythm is burst of words, and then break, burst of words, and then break. You have to focus on that rhythm and your arms will go. One thing that is really important as well to do or to remember whenever you are going to speak is to make eye contact. Now, what is the importance of making eye contact? Well, it actually becomes much more awkward to say when making full, engaging eye contact with a person. So in your next meeting, experiment with turning your body and eye gaze toward each person in the room, giving your attention inclusively. If you're on a conference call, don't pace or stare out the window blankly, but turn your attention to your notes or script. Both in person and on the phone, your arms will listen. So for example, while having classes, you can focus on your notes, and you can also do a video call with the teacher if you want, so that you can listen these fillers. Another thing that you have to do is to break the habit. So we are done filming yourself or recording a call, chunking your information, or doing the rhythm and making eye contact. Now, what are we going to do? Of course, we have to break the habit. Like any habit you want to quit, you need to commit yourself to it. So start off and try eliminating or significantly decrease your use of hesitation words in every conversion. By the way, what are some of these hesitation words? I was always talking about and but we have a lot like and also have like, we have so, okay, well. Do you know what I mean? You know. And there are even people who are fond of saying so, yeah. But take note that when we are referring to like as a filler word, this does not include using the word like as a simile, such as this cupcake tastes like heaven. So that's a correct sentence. Once you've identified your filler words, you know to listen out for them. You can also think about why you actually use them. So as what I've told you, when you hear yourself say one, backtrack and replace it with a word you actually mean to say, or repeat the last couple words without the filler word. The more you do this, the quicker you'll train your mind away from them. Again, what you have to do is, whenever you say one, you have to backtrack and replace it with the word you actually want to say. And last but not the least, that you can do for you to be able to remove or to lessen these fillers in your speech, you have to practice in a formal setting. Once you've become more aware of filler words in conversations, it's time to test your use of them in formal situations, where you're more likely to use them. A perfect example is presenting at a conference. I've already told you that one a while ago, wherein you can make eye contact, something that 74% of people fear. The best way of minimizing your ums and ahs is to know your speech well. Of course, it's really important. And you want to know when to talk about certain points and what you want to include in your message about memorizing a script. Using a script can be detrimental to your speech for a number of reasons, with one of the main reasons being that you're more likely to use hesitation words, not less likely. You might also feel safer memorizing a script, but if you lose your place or your pace, you won't know what's coming next because you've learned the script in a certain order. So sometimes it's better not to memorize a script, but to fully understand and to know the keywords and the key expressions that you have to use. When you don't know what to say, that's when you'll start like getting mixed up, you know. So the best way that I'm using, for example, to practice these things, because I know that everybody is actually committing lapses or language fillers, is to keep on speaking and to read aloud. because these words are usually slipping in our mouths whenever we are talking, whenever we are hesitating. Well, there may be a number of reasons why we use them. First, to fill a silence. Second, out of habit, or we think it has meaning for what we are saying. In my case, I'm a huge so user. I just think like I don't even hear myself saying it anymore. For example, there are some people or some of my colleagues pointed it out to me, and when I try to explain why I use it, I say it even more. So I want you to focus on these techniques so that it will be easier for you to remove your fillers as well, because I have noticed that on our last class you have tried using some language fillers. Well, I know that you are maybe used to it already. Maybe you are trying to use them whenever you're thinking of something and not just by hesitating, but it's really important that you're going to remove them, especially in your case that you are speaking the language most of the time. It's actually easier for you. You just have to practice, you have to train yourself, you have to break the habit, and of course, you have to continue improving. Because if not, maybe you can maintain your level, but you're not going to improve it. So these are the things that I can give you for you to be able to lessen your language fillers. You have to ask yourself as well how much you are really preparing for the things. Maybe you will see a correlation between when you say and when you lack planning or preparedness. Well, for classes, it's inevitable because, of course, you are not going to be prepared with the questions that the teachers are actually giving you. But with these things, with these steps, I know that you can improve them. I guess that's all for today. Thank you so much.